So we printed out the starter circuit diagram for a 2005 GMC Envoy. This is it untraced with no coloring, and this is it once we've traced the power and the grounds. The way this works is you've got that main 0 gauge wire that goes to your starter motor that goes from your positive of your battery. Then the rest of the power goes through the system like so, all the way to the ignition switch. Once you close this switch, power goes through the system over here to your relay. This turns into a magnet closing this switch, allowing your starter motor to turn on. There's two standard layouts for relays. You've got this one with the pins and this one over here. This one's just more expressed for us. Basically the way a relay works is you've got a switch here and you've got power running to the relay. You have another switch over here, which once you've turned this switch to an on or starting position, power runs through to this coil, allowing this coil to turn into an electromagnet. This electromagnet will close the switch, allowing power to continue along another circuit of your choosing. And that's basically how a relay works. I'm going to show you a couple of key component locations for our video today. First off, we're going to go over here. Here's the battery box. The battery is a side terminal battery. You also have the relay box and fuse box. We're going to need to get into that. And this next part down here, a bit harder to see. Oh, I got in there. There's the starter that we're going to be working with today. And then, last but not least, everyone should know this, you have your ignition switch. So we're going to go ahead and test the open voltage on the battery to see how many volts we got. To do this, you're going to want to set up your DVOM like so. Red lead red, black lead black, set it to read voltage. Hook up your positive terminal first, then your negative. And we're getting a reading of 12.9. So this is a perfectly good battery. So we're doing the voltage drop test from the cable that's going from the battery's positive terminal to the positive terminal on the starter motor. And only 100 millivolts, so the cable passed. So now we're going to test the negative side of the battery to the ground of the starter motor. .200 millivolts, so the wire passes. So we are set up for the starter draw test using a load tester. So you're going to want to connect positive first, then negative, and then you want to get your induction clamp around one of the wires that leads to your starter motor. So you're going to come over here. You're going to want to go ahead and zero it out. Now we've reached the limit on this, so you might want to come over here and hit the 0 button. And then once the machine's zeroed, you're going to want to go ahead and crank over the machine and read how much amperage is taken by the starter motor. So you see it peaked around 300, but it held around 199. So we're about to bench check a starter motor. Now, how you hook this up is you're going to want to have a different battery source here. You're going to want to go positive, and then hook up positive first, positive, then negative to negative. And when you disconnect these, you disconnect them in reverse. So now this is live, so be very careful. Next, you're going to want to go ahead and take your jumper wire. And hook it up to power. Now this is going to act as a switch sending power through to the starter motor. This should be a good test. Yes, terminals down in there. And then if you... I got it to work.